Hello, everyone. This is Marta Vargas. I am a PSYCH-K certified instructor, and today I am going to be joined by Rosie Pletzer, our wonderful representative, our certified instructor in Australia and in so many other parts of the world. So I'm just going to wait a little bit until she joins so that we can start this fun, interesting, and a little bit controversial conversation that we are going to have together today, because this subject of purpose is one of those questions that we get asked a lot. What is my purpose? How do I find my purpose? So I see that Rosie has joined, so now I just need to wait until she requests to see if you request. So 1 second, and here. Joining us, share with us where you're joining us from. I see a lot of people. Some of you I know, some of you I don't personally know, and it'll be fun to know where you joining us from. Hey, Rosie, here you
Hi, how
are.
are you? Hey,
Where are you today? Of all the many places where you travel to?
I am in my home. I'm actually in Canberra.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
really
nice.
nice. Yeah.
I am home
So,
too. It's good to be
yeah,
home.
yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we both travel so much that every time that we can get home, I think that's a great moment for, for our
yeah,
subconscious mind, actually.
yeah, it really for all minds.
Right, for all minds. So, Rosie, let's share with our audience. There's more and more people joining us. Very fun. A little bit
Yeah.
about you, your journey. How is it that we come to have this conversation today? Who are you? Where are you? And what's been your a little bit about you in this context of what we do with Psyche?
Yeah, I think it was an interesting synchronicity between the both of us that we were both really reflecting
Hmm.
on life and who we were within this whole journey and purpose, and we kind of had the same insight at the
Hmm.
same time. So we thought this would be a
Right.
really fun time to share that with everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I think I was sharing before you joined that this is one of those questions that we get asked a lot when people come to workshops to learn how to reprogram their subconscious mind, or they're doing one-on-one sessions, and this mind boggling question for a lot of people. So what is my purpose?
Yeah.
And personally, even before Psyche, I had that question all the time. I'm not doing, I haven't found my purpose. It's like this frustration, this ongoing frustration, because I may not be doing what I am supposed to be doing. Why am I on this earth? What for? There's got to be a greater reason for me to be here. And I had different answers for that throughout life. How was that for you?
The same. And I think for me, it was like searching for the Holy Grail. It's this big
Right.
aha moment that I'll find when I get there, and it's the purpose of life. So I think that was my kind of, I don't know, always trying to get there and not really knowing where there was. So there
Exactly.
being the purpose. Yeah, the
And I think
reason, the
that's
reason.
a great point.
Yeah,
It's like society and culture insists so much that there is a certain there to
yeah,
reach, and everybody's going there, but nobody knows where there is or even what's there. And I think that's the reason why so many people feel unsatisfied with their lives. And I was one of those people for a long time, a long, long time. I had a very successful job before teaching Psyche. For 24 years, I was doing marketing research for my family business, and I was the director of that business in Colombia. And every day I was asking, is this really what I am supposed to be doing? Should I be doing something else? I'm not happy here. And that's the other concept, you
Mhm.
have to be happy all the time. Otherwise, you're also frustrated. And there was
Yeah.
this little voice every day, this sensation of insatisfaction. I haven't found what I am supposed to be doing. And because I hadn't found that, then every day I just felt incomplete.
Yeah.
Something was missing. And then at some point I defined it like, okay, so my purpose must be my mission. So my mission, which also changed throughout life, for a while was s- getting up and going out there and making sure that my interaction with somebody else would make them smile and feel like their day was better, right? That it was like a
Yeah.
big thing. And then for another time, it was like, I need to find a way to make people's lives better. And I did get that answer. And Psyche showed up and found me in this very curious way 16 years ago. But even then, that was not the purpose, right?
Yeah. Very similar, very similar. Yeah, trying to, I think being of service also came on my radar. Maybe if
Mhm.
I'm of service, then I have value, and that's a purpose
Right.
for life as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And then we attach value to purpose,
yeah.
which
And to
also
do it. Yeah,
doesn't into doing. Absolutely. And I was a doer. And if I wasn't doing, then I wasn't worth much.
yeah,
And I grew up in a culture that is very proud of that. Those who are doing all the time are the ones that are get the pat on the back, right? That's worth something.
yeah,
So the whole idea of finding a purpose is tied to it's doing, it's tied to worth, it's tied to the idea also of I have to know who I am.
yeah.
Yeah, big
Yes,
question
yeah,
also.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
think it's just fun. It's fun. It can be funny, but it's fun watching ourselves go through those stages and seeing people come so overwhelmed in their lives because they have no answers to those
yeah.
big questions that society has said you have to answer those. I wonder where's the book that says that we have to answer those, right?
And we have to have certain roles, like my purpose is that of being a mum, or my purpose is that of being a PSYCH-K instructor, or
Hmm.
my purpose is, yeah, attached to a role that I'm playing. Yeah,
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 yeah. And when we had this conversation recently, it's because I was in one of those moments again of, okay, so if I am not a psyche instructor, so that's
yeah,
a role, then who am I? And I was asking those questions, and we have this beautiful process with psyche where we can, change the perception of stress that something a big question like that creates. And then the answer was just so, so simple.
yeah.
I am I am just a human being. And if I
That's
am just a human being, then I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. That's the only purpose. It's to come and have that human experience. And the simplicity of that, it just hit me like, wow. Because maybe
yeah,
I've seen that before, but it's like, and this happened a few weeks ago, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, that you and I had this conversation,
yeah,
that it was just so clear. I've played many roles throughout life, very cool ones, some not so cool. I was a golf player for a long time, and at the time I was also a student, and at the time I was also being a teenager, which is another role that we play. And then I had to become an adult, so I played the adult role, and I played the wife role twice. Got married twice. Had to do it well. And then also the mom role twice,
yeah,
the friend. the
Yeah.
executive, the busy executive.
Yeah.
And we go through those, and that's perfect. It's part of the human experience. But then society says that's not enough. You have to find a purpose. And then when it finally hit me a few weeks ago, there's only one. And I've been
Yeah.
saying this, I've been saying this in my workshops and I've been saying this on social media. But now, more than saying it, is that I am truly living that. There's only one purpose, and it's to live, like in big capital letters, to me at this moment. How do you see this?
I'm the same. And I know when we had that chat that we both kind of had that aha moment at
Hmm.
pretty much the same time. And it's just being. It's just whatever you're doing is the doing, but the
Hmm.
experience is the purpose. The purpose is to experience life. We've been given this amazing opportunity to experience this whatever we're experiencing at this
Right. Yeah.
moment in time. And the purpose is to experience it. And I think it doesn't matter what role we're playing now. That's a vessel or a conduit, if you like, to
Hmm.
experience life within. And I love the roles that we play. I really enjoy the experience that we're
Right.
having. Um, we get to hang out with amazing people and teach amazing stuff. So this experience is pretty cool. Um,
It
yeah,
is
and
very
and I
cool.
think
Hmm.
yeah, it's really cool, and I think it takes such a pressure off to know that you don't have to search for a purpose and meaning. It You can actually relax into it and enjoy it, and that's actually our purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's such an impermanence to the human experience, overall. When you think
Yeah.
about each instant, now it just happened. We've been talking here now for 15 minutes,
Yeah.
and it's no
Yeah.
longer 15 minutes ago. It's impermanent.
Yeah.
And we give so much importance to everything that's going on, and it becomes all heavy. And perhaps for those of you who are watching today, ask yourselves, where are you feeling overwhelmed with this idea of purpose? And perhaps it can be there could be more levity to that concept. Which, don't get us wrong, it's not about denying how intense the human experience can be, because it can be very intense, and we both go through those moments as well. And the
Yes.
moments where we are, dumbfounded or angry and frustrated and all that
Overwhelmed. Yeah.
amazing rainbow of feelings. The emotion of the human experience has all those colors, but they're also impermanent. And I feel the purpose that each emotion has is to put us in motion. So I'm just as interested now when I wake up very content. It's like, where's this coming from? Cool. It's impermanent. And the day where I am very angry, okay, where is this coming from? It's also impermanent. And I think that realization brings me a lot of peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the permanence is the experience, isn't it? That while we're here,
Uh-huh.
that that is the stability, if you like, or that's the
Right.
framework.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a
Hmm.
structure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
Some
Yeah,
years ago, I was having a conversation with our dear Rob, and he said,
yeah,
emotions make you invincible. And I didn't get it. At the time, it's like we used to hear him say certain things and say, he speaks so beautiful. That's so cool. But it took me a while to understand why emotions make all of us invincible, because I think it's a superpower that we have as human beings, is that we get to experience emotions so fully, so vividly, so yeah, it's just spectacular, to experience emotions. And then I understood is every time we get that impermanent visitor, because it's just a visit. And visitors come to your house. They stay for a little bit and then they leave. And it's
Yeah.
part of the purpose, experiencing those, like
Yeah.
when we asked Bruce Lipton a long time ago, so why do we come to life if we are just energy? And we were so cool being just energy. And he said, it's
Yeah.
very simple. It's the only way that spirit gets to experience what chocolate tastes like.
Yeah.
And that's also part of the purpose. For us who love chocolate, if we were
Yeah.
just energy, how do we know the pleasure of life that has so many colors as well, right? So maybe those
Yeah.
of you who are watching, if you can share a little bit of how you're feeling now about what we're sharing and your ideas of purpose, and if this is resonating with you, sort of, we don't feel that it's just the two of us talking. Would love to hear how this conversation is making you reflect or feel, or maybe even understand something that you had no answers to. Yeah.
And that it's
So,
okay to have no answers. Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
it is so okay. It's okay to not know. It's okay to not do. I was having a conversation with a friend a few weeks ago, and she said, I had times where the only thing I could actually do was wake up and breathe. That was the only thing I was capable of doing at that moment of my life. And she had a supportive network of family that allowed that space. And I thought that was such an expression of love. I can only breathe today, and that's okay too. So powerful, right?
Yeah. Hugely powerful. And somebody just commented that sometimes the feelings can be very overwhelming or feel really
Hmm.
big. And I think that's a beautiful comment too. And
Yeah.
I think I use PSYCH-K with this too. Sometimes I just TPS around the emotion. If it feels like it's engulfing me or
Hmm.
overwhelming me, I can do a TPS around that, and it just brings me back to a more whole brain state with the emotion because, I know when I was growing up, certain emotions were labeled as bad emotions, and some
Mm.
emotions were labeled as good
Negative.
emotions. And yeah, yeah. So
Hmm.
I think there's a lot of growth opportunities just even within experiencing emotions is
Yeah.
um is a huge part of life. Yeah,
Yeah. And,
yeah,
you just use some terms that are very common to you and I because this is our daily bread. But for
yeah,
some people in our audience, they don't know what TPS is, or they don't know what
yeah,
whole brain state is. So it's a
yeah,
great moment to maybe explain a little bit of that. How do you go about that with Psyche?
yeah.
What does that mean?
So TPS is transforming a perception of stress to a state of peace and non-attachment. So this is a process that we use and within our methodology of PSYCH-K, and we use this process to imagine that stress and then create what we call a whole brain state in response to it. And a whole brain state means that we can utilize both hemispheres of the cerebral cortex at the same time, so the left brain and the right brain. So our logic and reason and our emotion and creativity are both activated, if you like, towards that response. So instead of feeling over emotional or over identifying to my emotional hemisphere, I'm able to access my logic and reason again.
Hmm.
So it gives me a balanced way of perceiving that thing that was so overwhelming before. All of a sudden, I can see it in a more balanced state of peace. So I think it's a superpower, personally.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's a superpower. And I was writing an article about Psyche today for magazine, and that was the center of this, and it has to do with what we're talking, because it's that possibility of, instead of reacting like we were taught, right? That's
yeah,
I talk a lot about the lies that we were told, the the ideas that we got from others, that because those are the ones that they had, it wasn't out of a bad place, it's just what it was.
yeah,
But instead of replaying those programs, The superpower that we get with Psyche is the power to choose. How do
Yes.
I choose to experience what's happening in my life right now? Life is going to happen. And as life happens, and there are days that some shitty stuff happens, no? To all of us,
Yes,
right? We need to call it by its
absolutely.
name. And then we can use Psyche so that the shift can happen. So that we
Yeah.
go from those stress that life creates, and we can say, okay, so this is happening for me. What am I
Yeah.
going to do with it? And I think that's the beauty of, I love the way that you call it, this applied, practical spirituality. It's not
Yeah.
something out over there
Over
and
there
in a
in
cloud,
a cloud.
rather something very earthy,
Yeah.
very, very human, that we can see those experiences and have this practical tool to say, okay, this is a current experience. What do I choose to experience instead of this? That's a superpower. I fully agree with you.
Yeah. And, I was talking with a couple of facilitators the last night actually, and we were kind of wondering, how do people live without the ability to do that? I
It's
mean, I can imagine, I can remember life before Psych-K, but
mhm.
gee, it makes it so much easier of a ride, so much more pleasant of a journey to be able to take that responsibility and
Mhm.
really empower yourself through life. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
and what you just said, I have the possibility and the privilege of interviewing a lot of the Psyche facilitators who are having transformed their lives significantly through this, and a lot of them have that same expression that you just used. How do people go through life without the possibility to change things in seconds and have new eyes to see, what is this for? Why do I need this in my life as part of my self-realization path or journey? Like somebody was saying earlier, the daily Psyche, the use of Psyche daily is a
Yeah.
self-realization journey, and it's so beautiful. And there's so many people suffering unnecessarily just because they don't know how not to suffer. That's a program,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and it can be an addiction to the subconscious mind too. It's so
Yes.
habitual and so normal and in its own way comfortable, even though it's
Mhm.
uncomfortable. Yeah,
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 absolutely, because society has normalized
yeah,
living in that drama, in that traumatic way of doing life. And it
yeah,
is addictive. I was an addict to all
yeah,
those chemical reactions that happen in your brain when you have something to worry about, something to do, something to show how intelligent you are. And that was the purpose at the time.
yeah, yeah,
It was necessary, or I wouldn't be so appreciative of how I live now, right? It's
yeah,
this
yeah,
slogan of Psyche, free your mind. And that's the
yes,
invitation to those who are watching. We're
yeah,
inviting you to consider, just to consider. We're not here to sell you anything. We're not here to convince you of anything. We just
mm,
want you to reflect on, where are the programs that you're playing that are creating uneasiness in your life, that are creating drama in your life, that are creating limitations in your life, because those are
yeah,
not yours. Those are learned. And because they're programs, they can be edited. And Psyche is a very, very simple tool to edit those programs. It's that simple. So when I got
and
to Psyche, I couldn't believe it was that simple. It can't be that easy.
that's the thing that challenged me the most was I think also that it was so fast because my world, you had to work really hard and it took a
Mm,
long time for you to achieve certain results. So the fact that it was so fast was
yeah.
a big limiting belief of mine. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The fact that it was fast, because things that were fast were not good enough. That was one of my beliefs. And then
yeah,
because the first time that I took a psychic workshop, it was in the United States. Nobody was teaching in Latin
Yeah.
America. I live in Colombia, so I had to travel to the States to learn this. And I sat there the first day, and I had all these programs coming up in my mind saying, "It's too easy. Can't be good if it's that easy. It's too simple. Can't be good if it's simple." My mind was so complicated at the time, and I had an addiction to that complication. And that was part of this idea of I haven't found my purpose. As long as I
Yeah.
hadn't found my purpose, my life could keep being complicated and frustrating and without the necessary satisfaction. And I kept replaying the programs of difficulty and drama. And it's
Mm.
fascinating for us to watch, when you look back 16 years ago, when we were playing all those unknown programs.
And the effort, that everything requires this effort.
Mhm.
Yeah, I came from that family that you work hard and you put a lot of effort into things. And for me, that ease I think was really challenging too. That wow,
Mhm.
could it be easy and could it be done with flow, and instead of like having to push things along, I could actually relax and allow things to
Mm.
change. That was huge for me too, and I think I'm still evolving in that area of my life, like still really relaxing into that ease and allowing things to be more easy. Is still, I think that's what happens with Psych-K too, is we evolve ourselves and we see a new perception of something, and then
Mhm.
as we live in that new evolution, we can see, oh wow, there's even more in that area of life that I can grow into. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, yeah, and thank you for mentioning that, because I think it's a very important concept when whatever it is that any of you in our audience are doing, whether you're meditating or you're using prayer or any methodology that you think it's helping you expand your consciousness, whatever it is, there
Yeah,
is no magic wand.
yeah,
It's a journey. And it's a
yeah,
beautiful journey with no destination. When you free your mind of the idea of the destination and then you just go through the journey and have
yeah,
fun with it and feel it. And some days it's not going to be fun. Sure. I agree. Yeah. Some days it's just really, really damn hard. That happens to all of us. But
yes,
whatever it is, it's an ongoing journey and it's not linear. Think what you're saying, this spiral of evolution, it's
yeah,
ascending. And you started doing psyche maybe what, 14, 15 years ago, something like that, right?
yeah, yeah. It was, I think, 14, 15 years ago. Wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, wow. And it's been 16 for me. And I'm
Yeah,
nowhere close to who the roles that I was playing back in 2009 when I was the director of a company and I was somebody's partner and I was somebody's my two kids' mom and
yeah,
all those roles that we played. And at the time, what I discovered that I had never been able to see until I got to Psyche is that I had absolutely no self-worth. All my worth
yeah,
was depending on those roles. All my worth was depending on doing, on showing others how good I was, how smart I was, how capable I was, how dependable I was, how well I played those roles. That was the program that was running, because those possibilities would come and give me, a pat on the back. Ah, you're so good. But I could never give that to me. And
yeah,
that's when I discovered that that was the reason why Psyche showed up in my life. Was you need to become aware
yeah,
that there's no
yeah,
self-worth. It was inexistent and it was covered by all these masks and disguises and costumes that I played really well. So nobody could see behind them. And it's been humbling to
yeah,
accept that and look at that from so many different levels, like you're saying. And I find a deeper level or just a different aspect of the restoration of my self-worth. It's fascinating.
It is. It is. And I think that's also maybe why this simplicity of purpose dropped in for us
Hmm.
as well. I think maybe as we do Psych-K and really kind of clean the filters, um, those reasons that we do things become a bit clearer and become a
Hmm.
bit more apparent. And as we clear those, then we don't have those secondary gains reasons, or that we don't have the reason for doing something that we used to have. So
Hmm.
we can sit into this beautiful realization of, oh, my purpose for being here is to experience being here, and I don't need to
Hmm.
do it for an agenda anymore.
Right, right.
I think that's really, really beautiful, actually. Yeah.
It is very beautiful. I do a lot of audio reading lately,
Yeah.
because we walk so much in airports, and there's so much time that we use in airports and traveling, that audio reading is wonderful. So I was audio reading Big Magic from Elizabeth Gilbert, the one who the author of Eat, Pray, Love.
Yes.
And she was telling a story of a friend of hers who, just out of the blue, any day she would say, "I'm gonna go get a tattoo, a new tattoo." And her whole body was covered with whichever tattoo she thought it was cool that day.
Wow.
And one day she asked her, "Aren't you worried that they're so permanent?" And she said, "No, they're not. They're impermanent." I said, "How? Are they just like stickers or what?" "No, they're all impermanent because life is impermanent. And while I'm
Wow.
here, I'm just going to have fun with life. And decorating my body is part of that fun." And I thought it was just such a beautiful way to see life.
Yeah.
She was just decorating herself, her life. And then they speak
Yeah.
about artists, and artists are decorating our minds. And that's what we're
Yeah.
doing. We're cleaning the house, and we're choosing how to decorate it within,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
ourselves, not for anyone else. And to
Yeah.
me, that's my purpose now. How do I
Yeah.
choose to decorate my day? How does that look
Yes.
today?
Yeah.
And that's
Moment by moment.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
to all of you who are watching, we hope that this helps you reflect on your journey, and
Mm.
to make your journey simpler, and your questions also simpler, because the answers are just there. They're within you. And this is not your answer. This is where Rosie and I are. And that's why we're talking about this, because it just happened
Yeah.
to happen to both of us at the very same time.
Yeah.
That beautiful synchronicity of that conversation. And
Yeah.
whichever your answers are today, honor them and enjoy them, and honor yourselves, and have fun with this spectacular life that we've been given. Dear Rosie,
Yeah.
anything else that you would love to share with our audience before we say goodbye?
No, I think it's been a joy. It's just been a joy to connect, and yeah, for everybody that's been a part of it. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. If you're interested in learning about what we do, you can go to psyche.com, or you can visit Minds Align, which is Rosie's social media. You can find
Yeah.
me on Marta Vargas.
Cool.
Just look at it on my account. We both teach in English. We're going to co-teach
Yeah.
online in
Yes,
September,
we are.
which is going to be fun, online level one. So if you guys are
Yeah.
interested, we'll be very happy to have you. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rosie. Have a
Thank you
great
so much.
future, because you're my future. It's today in Australia. It's
Yeah.
tomorrow in Australia.
Yeah. You have a lovely yesterday. Yeah.
Yes. And we'll see you soon. And thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Yeah.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye.